Captain Hyundai stood at the window of Sentinel-7 watching the stars. Outside, 3 alien ships floated in the darkness. They had been there for 12 years. Every day the same 3 ships. Every day they watched Earth. Hyundai was tired of looking at them. His crew had given them nicknames. The big one was Fat Watcher, the small fast one was Nosy. The third one, which never moved, they called Sleeper. It was a boring game, but it helped pass the time. Captain, morning report, said Commander Kang Minho, walking up with a tablet. He was young, only 32, but good at his job. All stations normal. The 3 visitors haven't moved. Same as yesterday. Same as every day, Hyundai said. He took the tablet and signed it. Anything from Earth? Another council message came in. The 15th invitation. Minho smiled a little. Want to guess what the Global Assembly will say? No, Hyundai said. They both knew the answer. Earth would say no. Earth always said no. The Galactic Council had been asking Earth to join for 15 years. 15 years of polite messages. 15 years of we would be honored to welcome humanity. 15 years of Earth saying thank you, but no. Hyundai understood why. The Council was big. 847 different alien species. 12 galaxies. Billions of worlds. And they all wanted Earth to become a probationary member species. That meant Earth would have to follow Council laws. Council rules. Council everything. Earth had looked at the deal and decided to stay alone. Better to be quiet and safe than loud and controlled. Down on Earth in Seoul, Dr. Yoon Hana was not happy about that decision. She stood in front of 200 scientists at the Institute of Extraterrestrial Studies, arguing with a man twice her age. We are making a mistake, Hana said, her voice loud in the conference room. We have a chance to learn from hundreds of species, to share knowledge, to grow, and we are hiding like scared children. Professor Kim Young-ho shook his head. We are being smart. The Council wants to control us. They want us to give up our freedom. They want us to be part of something bigger, Hana shot back. We are alone in the universe, talking only to ourselves. How is that smart? The room broke into arguments. Half the scientists agreed with Hana. Half agreed with Young-ho. It was always like this. Every meeting, the same fight. Every conference, the same 2 sides. Hana sat down, frustrated. She was 33 years old. She had studied alien biology for 10 years. She had read every report from the Council. She knew more about alien life than almost anyone on Earth. And nobody listened to her. Later that day, she walked to her small office and opened her computer. A new Council research paper had arrived. She started reading. 5 minutes later, she was angry. The paper was titled, Humanity, a Case Study in Species Regression. It was written by 3 alien scientists. They called humans interesting but limited. They said human technology was crude. They said human society was primitive and violent. Hana closed the paper and took a deep breath. This was not the first time. Council scientists had been writing papers like this for years. Each one was worse than the last. Each one treated humans like animals in a zoo. She wanted to write a response. She wanted to prove them wrong. But Earth's government had rules. No fighting with the Council. No arguments. Stay quiet. Stay safe. Far above Earth, past the moon, Ambassador Lee Taemin sat in a dark room. He wore a special helmet that connected his brain to a quantum communication system. Through the helmet, he could see and hear the Galactic Council meeting, happening thousands of light years away. The Council chamber was huge. Thousands of aliens sat in rows that went up and up like a stadium. Lee Taemin's avatar appeared as a small hologram near the bottom. Nobody paid attention to him. They never did. A tall alien with purple skin was speaking. Its name was something Lee could not pronounce, so he just thought of it as Purple Delegate. It was talking about trade routes. And finally, Purple Delegate said, we should discuss the empty zone around the Sol system. The humans continue to refuse contact. They hide behind their moon like cowering primitives. A few aliens laughed. Not many, just a few. But Lee heard every laugh. He felt his face get hot. They are afraid, another alien said. This one had too many arms. Fear is natural for young species. Should we try again? Someone asked. Another invitation? What is the point? Purple Delegate said. They will say no. They always say no. Let them stay in their corner. Maybe in another 1,000 years they will be ready. More laughter. More jokes. Lee Taman sat very still. His government had told him to never respond to insults. Never argue. Never show anger. Just watch and report. So he watched. He listened. He reported everything. And he said nothing. When the meeting ended, Lee took off the helmet. His hands were shaking. He had been doing this job for 5 years. 5 years of listening to aliens call his species primitive and afraid and unworthy. 5 years of saying nothing. He wrote his report and sent it to Earth. At the bottom, he added one sentence that was not part of the official report. How long do we stay quiet? Back on Sentinel-7, Hyundai was eating dinner when the message came through. It was from Admiral Park Gina, the head of Earth's military. She wanted a private call. Hyundai went to his office and turned on the screen. Admiral Park's face appeared. She was 58 years old with gray hair and hard eyes. She had been a soldier for 40 years. Captain Han, she said, I want your honest opinion. The 3 observer ships outside. How dangerous are they? Hyundai thought carefully. Not very dangerous. They are big and powerful but slow. They are built to look scary, not to fight. And if they did fight, we would win, easily. Admiral Park nodded. That is what I thought. I have been watching their training exercises near the Kuiper Belt. 200 ships all moving like drunks. Their formations are terrible. Their coordination is worse. Why are you asking me this? Hyundai said. Because things are changing, Admiral Park said. The Council is getting bolder. The insults are getting worse. And Earth's government is getting tired of being quiet. Are we going to respond? Hyundai asked. Not yet, but soon. Maybe very soon. Admiral Park leaned closer to the screen. Tell me, Captain, if Earth went to war, would your crew fight? Hyundai did not hesitate. Yes. Good, I hope we never need to. But I am not sure anymore. She turned off the screen. Hyundai sat in the dark. Outside, the 3 alien ships floated in silence. They had no idea that everything was about to change. Earth had been quiet for 15 years. Patient. Peaceful. Waiting. But patience does not last forever, and insults can only pile up so high before something breaks. Hyundai looked at the alien ships one more time. Then he went back to his crew, back to his duty, back to waiting. Somewhere in the darkness, a storm was coming. And Earth was almost ready to stop being quiet. 3 months passed. The alien ships were still watching. But now something was different. The Galactic Council had made a new announcement. They called it an economic exclusion zone. What it meant was simple. No alien species could trade with Earth. No buying. No selling. No contact. Earth was cut off from the galaxy. The strange thing was that Earth did not care. They had never traded with aliens anyway. The blockade changed nothing. But it was a message. The Council was getting annoyed. Dr. Yoon Hana saw the real problem coming before anyone else. She was reading alien academic papers late at night when she found it. A new journal had published 5 papers about humans. All 5 papers were mean. One paper was called The Genetic Dead End of Sol 3. It said humans were too weak to survive in the galaxy. Another paper said humans were psychologically damaged as a species. A third one called Humans Evolutionary Mistakes. Hana read all 5 papers. Then she read them again. Her hands were shaking with anger. These were not political statements. These were scientists, doctors, professors. And they were writing about humans like they were broken animals. She wanted to respond. But how? Earth's government still had the same rule, stay quiet. Hana made a decision. She would break the rule. She spent 2 weeks working. She pulled data from every source she could find. Council genetic databases, human research, comparative biology, and she found something incredible. Most Council species had very little genetic diversity. Their DNA was clean, perfect, identical. It looked like someone had designed them that way. Humans were different. Humans had massive genetic diversity, millions of variations, thousands of different traits. It was messy and chaotic and beautiful. Hana realized what this meant. The Council species had used genetic engineering on themselves long ago. They had removed all the bad genes, made everyone the same, made everyone perfect, but that was not perfect at all. It was weakness. If a disease came or the environment changed, they could not adapt. They were all the same, so they would all die together. Humans were different. Humans were messy. And that mess was their strength. Hana wrote a paper. She called it Genetic Diversity as Evolutionary Advantage, a response to council academic bias. She uploaded it to the International Science Network. Within hours, it had spread across Earth. Within days, it had reached the council. The council scientists were furious. They wrote responses. Angry responses. They called Hana's paper garbage science. They called her ignorant. They called all humans mongrels and genetic refuse. The insults were not academic anymore. They were personal. They were hateful. On Sentinel-7, Commander Kang Minho brought the news to Captain Han Dae. "Have you seen what they are saying about us?" Minho asked. He looked angry. "They are calling us genetic trash." Han Dae read the messages. His face stayed calm, but inside he felt cold anger building. "They are scared," Han Dae said quietly. "Scared? Of what?" "Of being wrong. Dr. Yoon proved them wrong. So now they attack her. They attack all of us." "Someone should do something," Minho said. "Someone will," Han Dae said. Eventually, that eventually came faster than anyone expected. A council scout ship entered Earth's orbital space. It was small, maybe 50 meters long. It appeared suddenly, right near the moon. Sentinel-7 detected it immediately. Han Dae ordered the standard response, a warning message, and 2 escort ships. The escort ships were small fighters. They flew close to the scout ship and sent a message. "You are in Earth defense space. Please leave immediately." The scout ship did not respond. It just kept flying toward Earth. Han Dae sent another warning. Then another. The scout ship ignored all of them. "Captain, they are getting close to the lunar defense grid," Minho said. "If they cross that line, protocols say we have to act." "I know the protocols," Han Dae said. "Send one more warning." "Make it very clear." The warning went out. This time the scout ship did respond, but not with words. It fired a weapon at one of the escort ships. The shot hit the escort's shield and bounced off. No damage, but it was an attack. "A real attack. All units engage," Han Dae said. His voice was calm, but his heart was pounding. One of the escort pilots was a young woman named Kim Sarah. She was 26 years old and the best pilot in the Lunar Defense Wing. When she heard the order to engage, she smiled. Sarah had been training for 7 years. 7 years of simulations. 7 years of practice. She had never fired her weapons at a real enemy. Until now, her fighter accelerated. The alien scout ship tried to turn away, but it was too slow. Sarah locked on with her railgun and fired 3 shots. Each shot was perfectly aimed. They hit the scout ship's engines, its weapons, and its communication system. The scout ship went dark. Dead in space. Not destroyed. Just disabled. "Target neutralized," Sarah reported. "No casualties. We are towing it to the lunar base." Han Dae breathed out slowly. "Good work, pilot." Return to base. But Han Dae knew this was not over. This was just the beginning. On Earth, in the Global Assembly Building, alarms were going off. The leaders of every nation were being called to an emergency meeting. Premier Choi Doyen stood at the center of the room, waiting for everyone to arrive. Admiral Park Jina was already there. So was Dr. Bae Ji-won, the head military strategist. She was a paranoid woman who had been predicting this exact scenario for years. "They attacked us," Dr. Bae said. She did not sound surprised. She sounded almost happy. "They came into our space and fired weapons. That is an act of war." "It was one ship," Premier Choi said. "Maybe a mistake." "It was not a mistake," Admiral Park said. "It was a test. They wanted to see how we would respond." "And how did we respond?" Premier Choi asked. "Perfectly. We disabled them without killing anyone. We showed strength and restraint." The other leaders arrived. The meeting began. For 6 hours they argued. Some wanted to send apologies to the council. Some wanted to prepare for war. Some wanted to do nothing. Finally, a message came from the council. It was not an apology. It was an ultimatum. The message said, "The human species has committed an act of aggression against the Galactic Council. Earth must submit to council authority within 30 days. You will surrender all military weapons. You will accept council supervision. You will be rehabilitated. If you refuse, there will be consequences." The room went silent. Every person there understood what this meant. The council was treating Earth like criminals, like children who needed to be punished. Premier Choi read the message 3 times. Then he looked at Admiral Park. "If we fight," he said slowly. "Can we win?" Admiral Park did not hesitate. "Yes, we will not just win. We will teach them what happens when you insult Earth. Premier Choi looked around the room. He saw anger on every face, fear too, but mostly anger. Then we fight, he said. The vote was unanimous. Earth rejected the ultimatum. That night, messages went out to every military base on Earth, the Moon, Mars, and beyond. Soldiers who had been on leave were called back. Ships that had been in storage were powered up. Weapons that had been sitting in warehouses were loaded and prepared. Earth had been quiet for 15 years, peaceful, patient, but the insults had gone too far. And now humanity was going to remind the galaxy what humans really were. They were survivors. They were fighters. And they never learned how to quit. The 30 days passed slowly. On Earth, people watched the news every day. Would there be war? Would the aliens attack? Nobody knew. But the military knew something the public did not. Earth had been preparing for this moment for a long time. Very long time. Captain Hyundai found out the truth on day 15. Admiral Park Gina called him to a secret meeting. When he arrived at the command center, he saw something that made him stop and stare. On the main screen was a map of the solar system. But it was not the map he knew. This map showed hundreds of ships. Hundreds. They were hidden everywhere. In asteroid fields. Behind moons. In the rings of Saturn. Deep in the gas clouds of Jupiter. We have been building in secret for 12 years, Admiral Park said. While the Council watched Earth, we built our fleet in places they never looked. Hyundai could not believe it. How many ships? 472 warships. Another 200 support ships. And weapons they have never seen before. Dr. Bae Jawan stepped forward. She had a smile on her face. A scary smile. I told them 15 years ago, she said. I told them we needed to be ready. Everyone called me paranoid. Looks like I was right. What kind of weapons? Hyundai asked. Better than theirs, Admiral Park said. Faster, stronger, smarter. We studied their technology for 15 years. We learned from it. Then we made something better. On day 28, the Council made their move. A fleet appeared at the edge of the solar system. It was massive. Over 1,000 ships. They came from all over Council space. Different species. Different designs. But all of them together coming to force Earth to surrender. On Sentinel-7, Commander Kang Minho watched them arrive. He counted the ships on his screen. 1,043. Against Earth 600. We are outnumbered, Minho said. Numbers are not everything, Hyundai replied. He was remembering something Admiral Park had told him. The Council had not fought a real war in 300 years. They had forgotten how. Earth had never stopped fighting. Humans fought each other for thousands of years. They learned every trick, every strategy, every way to win when you should lose. The Council sent one final message: surrender now or be destroyed. Premier Choi Doyen sent back a message. No. That was it. Just one word. No. The war began. Admiral Park Gina commanded from the defense station above Earth. She did not send the fleet to meet the Council at the edge of the solar system. That was what they expected. Instead, she let them come closer. Let them come to Mars, she said. Let them come where our defense grid is strongest. The Council fleet moved forward. They thought Earth was afraid. They thought Earth was not ready. They were wrong. When the Council fleet reached Mars, Earth's ships appeared. They came from everywhere at once. From behind Mars's moons, from the asteroid belt, from places the Council never thought to look. The battle started fast and brutal. Kim Sarah flew her fighter with 40 others. They moved in perfect formation like a school of fish. The Council ships tried to target them, but the fighters were too fast. Too small, too quick. Sarah's railgun fired again and again. Each shot hit. Each shot damaged. She had trained for 7 years for this moment. Now she was proving everything she learned. Around her, the bigger ships were fighting too. Earth's warships were smaller than the Council ships. But they were faster. Their weapons charged quicker. Their shields were stronger and they fought smart. The Council ships moved in straight lines. They grouped together. They followed patterns. Earth's ships moved like they were dancing. Unpredictable, chaotic, impossible to track. Captain Hyundai led a strike team of 12 ships. Their mission was to hit the Council command ship. It was a massive vessel, 3 kilometers long. It sat in the back of the fleet directing everything. Stay close, Hyundai said to his team. Follow my lead. They flew in low, using the wreckage of destroyed ships as cover. Council sensors could not find them in the chaos. They got within 500 meters of the command ship before anyone noticed. Then they fired everything at once. Railguns, missiles, plasma torpedoes. All of it hit the command ship's communication array. The array exploded. Suddenly, the Council fleet could not coordinate. Every ship was on its own. The perfect formation fell apart. Now, Admiral Park ordered. All ships, full attack. Earth's entire fleet surged forward. The battle became a storm of fire and metal. Ships exploded. Shields collapsed. People died on both sides. But Earth was winning. On Sentinel-7, engineer Osuman was working on something special. She was young, only 28, but she was a genius with weapons. She had been building a device in secret. Something experimental, something dangerous. It was a quantum disruptor. It could break the special fields that Council ships used for faster-than-light travel. If it worked, Council ships would lose their shields. They would lose their speed. They would be helpless, Admiral, Osuman called. The disruptor is ready, but I have only tested it in simulation. It might not work, or it might work too well. What does that mean? Admiral Park asked. It might affect our ships, too, or it might explode and take out half of Mars. Admiral Park looked at the battle map. Earth was winning, but barely. They had destroyed 200 Council ships, but Earth had lost 50. The fighting was brutal. Do it, Admiral Park said. Take the risk. Osuman activated the device. For 3 seconds, nothing happened. Then every screen on Sentinel-7 went white. Across the battlefield, something changed. Council ships started to slow down. Their shields flickered. Some ships lost power completely and went dark. Earth ships were affected too, but only a little. Their shields dropped by 30%. Their weapons took longer to charge. But they could still fight. The Council ships could not. All units, attack now, Admiral Park ordered. Earth's fleet tore through the disabled Council ships. It was not a battle anymore. It was a massacre. But Admiral Park did not want a massacre. She wanted a message. Stop firing, she ordered. Let them retreat. The Council fleet ran. Over 800 ships turned and fled. They left their dead behind. They left their honor behind. They just ran. Earth's fleet did not chase them. They watched them go. On the command ship of the Council fleet, High Arbiter Velnoth could not believe what had happened. The humans were supposed to be weak, primitive, easy to defeat. Instead, they had destroyed 200 ships in 3 hours, and they had let the rest escape. That was worse than killing them. That was mercy, and mercy from a primitive species was the deepest insult of all. Back on Earth, people celebrated. They had won. The mighty Galactic Council had attacked and lost. But in the military command center, Admiral Park was not celebrating. She was preparing. They will come back, she said to Premier Choi. This was just their first attack. Next time they will bring everything. Can we win again? Premier Choi asked. Admiral Park looked at the damage reports. 50 ships destroyed. 3,000 soldiers dead. And the next fight would be bigger. I do not know, she said honestly. But we will try. The news of Earth's victory spread across the galaxy faster than light. On 1,000 worlds, aliens watched the reports in shock. The humans had won. The primitive humans had defeated the Council fleet. Some species were happy. They had always hated the Council's arrogance. Other species were afraid. If humans could win, maybe other species could rebel too. But the Council leadership was not afraid. They were furious. High Arbiter Velnoth called an emergency session. 847 species sent representatives. The chamber was packed. The humans must be exterminated, Velnoth said. His voice was cold. They are a disease, a threat to order. We will gather every ship, every weapon. We will turn their planet to ash. Many delegates agreed. Some did not. But in the end, the vote passed. The Council would send everything they had. 2 weeks later, a fleet began to gather. Not 1,000 ships this time. Over 5,000. They came from every corner of Council space. The largest military force in galactic history. On Earth, long-range sensors detected them coming. Admiral Park Gina looked at the numbers and felt cold fear in her stomach. 5,000 ships, she said quietly. We cannot win this, and then what do we do? Premier Choi asked. We make them pay for every meter, Admiral Park said. We fight until we cannot fight anymore, and we make sure the galaxy remembers what we were. But Captain An Ji-yeon had a different idea. She was the commander of Earth's newest warship, the Indomitable. It was the biggest, most advanced ship humanity had ever built, and she wanted to use it. "We do not fight them here," Jion said at the strategy meeting. "We fight them out there, in deep space, where they do not expect it." "That is suicide," Dr. Beijuan said. "We would be surrounded." "Maybe," Jion said. "But if we wait for them to reach Earth, we lose for sure. At least in deep space, we have room to move." Admiral Park thought about it. It was a terrible plan, but all their plans were terrible now. "Do it," she said. "Take the Indomitable and 50 escort ships. Hit them before they reach Mars. Make them slow down. Make them scared," Jion smiled. "I can do that." 3 days later, the Indomitable and its escort fleet jumped to the edge of the solar system. They appeared right in front of the Council's massive fleet. 5,000 Council ships stared at 51 human ships. "This is going to be interesting," Jion said to her crew. The Indomitable fired first. Its main weapon was a mass driver that could throw a piece of metal at nearly light speed. The metal hit a Council ship and went straight through it. The ship exploded. Then the 50 escort ships fired. Missiles, railguns, lasers, everything at once. The Council fleet fired back. But they were confused. Why would such a small force attack? It made no sense unless it was a trap. The Council fleet slowed down. They spread out. They started searching for hidden ships, for ambushes, for tricks. There were no tricks. Just 51 ships fighting 5,000. But those 51 ships fought like demons. Captain An Ji-yan led the Indomitable in circles around the Council fleet. She never stayed in one place, never followed a pattern. The Council ships tried to surround her, but she was always gone before they could. For 6 hours, the battle raged. The Indomitable destroyed 23 Council ships. The escort ships destroyed 40 more. But one by one, Earth's escorts were destroyed. After 6 hours, only 12 ships were left. The Indomitable was damaged. 2 of its engines were gone. Its shields were failing. "Time to go," Jion said. She ordered a retreat. The surviving ships jumped back toward Mars. The Council fleet followed. But slowly now. Carefully. They had learned to be afraid. Back on Earth, Dr. Yunhana was working on something new. She had been studying the Council species biology for years. Now she had a weapon. She had found that most Council species breathed a specific mixture of gases. Their ships were designed for it. If you changed the mixture even a little, they would get sick, weak, confused. Hana designed a missile that would release chemicals into a ship's air system. It would not kill anyone, but it would make them unable to fight. "This is biological warfare," Premier Choi said when she showed him. "No," Hana said. "Biological warfare kills. This just makes them sick. They will recover in a few days." "Why not kill them?" someone asked. "Because we are not monsters," Hana said. "They called us primitive. They called us violent. Let us prove them wrong. Let us win without becoming what they think we are." Admiral Park approved the weapon. They built 300 missiles and loaded them onto every ship. When the Council fleet finally reached Mars, they found Earth's entire fleet waiting. 400 ships against nearly 5,000. The odds were impossible, but Earth had no choice. "All ships," Admiral Park said. "This is our home, our world, our species. If we lose here, we lose everything, so we are not going to lose. Fight with everything you have. Make them remember this day forever." The fleet roared their agreement. Then the battle began. It was chaos. Pure chaos. Ships exploded every second. The space around Mars became a cloud of debris and fire. Kim Sarah flew her fighter through the madness. She had flown in 3 battles now. She was an expert. But this was different. This was hell. A Council ship locked onto her. She dodged left. The shot missed. She dodged right. Another shot. Another miss. She fired back and hit the ship's bridge. It spun away, out of control. "Sarah, you have 5 enemies on your tail," her commander said. "I know," she said. She dove toward a piece of wreckage and flew through it. 2 enemy ships crashed. 3 kept coming. She led them toward a group of Earth ships. The Earth ships fired. All 3 enemy ships exploded. "Thanks for the help," Sarah said. "Anytime," came the reply. But Earth was losing. Slowly, ship by ship, they were losing. Then Captain Han Day did something desperate. He led a boarding team onto a Council command ship. 20 soldiers in combat suits jumping from ship to ship in the middle of a battle. It was insane. But it worked. They blasted through the hull and fought their way inside. Council soldiers tried to stop them, but they had never fought humans in close combat before. They were not ready for how fierce humans could be. Hyundai and his team reached the bridge. They captured the council commander, a tall alien with purple skin. High Arbiter Velnoth himself. "Tell your fleet to stop," Hyundai said, pointing a weapon at Velnoth. "No," Velnoth said. "You are primitives. Genetic refuse. I will never." Hyundai hit him. Not with the weapon. With his fist. Velnoth fell down. "I am tired of your insults," Hyundai said. "Tell them to stop or I will let you watch your fleet die." Velnoth looked at Hyundai. He saw something in the human's eyes. Something that scared him. These were not primitives. These were survivors, fighters, winners. "Cease fire," Velnoth said into his communication device. "All ships cease fire and retreat." The Council fleet stopped fighting. Slowly they began to pull back. Earth's fleet did not chase them. They just watched them go. The war was not over yet. But for now Earth had won again, and the galaxy was learning to respect humanity. High Arbiter Velnoth sat in a cell on Sentinel-7. It was clean, comfortable, but it was still a cell. He had been there for 2 days, and every hour made him angrier. Captain Hyundai came to visit him. He brought food, real food, not prison food. "I do not want your charity," Velnoth said. "It is not charity," Hyundai said. "It is called being decent. You should try it. You attacked council ships. You started this war." Hyundai laughed. It was a cold laugh. "You came into our space. You insulted us for 15 years. You demanded we surrender and you say we started it? You are primitive. You need guidance." "We do not need anything from you," Hyundai said. "We were happy being alone. You could not accept that. You had to push. You had to insult. You had to prove you were better than us." "We are better," Velnoth said. "Really? Because from where I stand you are the one in a cell." Velnoth had no answer to that. On Earth the Global Assembly was meeting again. The war had stopped, but it was not over. The Council fleet was still out there, damaged, scared, but still there. "What do we do now?" someone asked. "We negotiate," Premier Choi said. "Negotiate what?" Admiral Park said. "They will never accept peace. They are too proud." "Then we make them accept it," Choi said. "We show them that continuing this war will destroy them." "How?" Dr. Bae Ji-won asked. "We show them what we are really capable of." Admiral Park understood. It was time to reveal Earth's final secret. For years, Earth had been building something in the asteroid belt. Something massive. A weapon platform that could destroy entire fleets with one shot. They called it Final Answer. "We do not have to use it," Admiral Park said. "We just have to show them it exists." 3 days later, the Council received a message. It included a video. The video showed Final Answer firing at an old Earth satellite. The satellite was the size of a small city. Final Answer's weapon hit it. The satellite simply stopped existing. 1 second it was there. The next second, nothing. "This is what we can do," the message said. "This is what we have been holding back. If you continue this war, we will use it. We will destroy every ship you send. And then, we will come for you." The message was clear. Earth could win. Absolutely. Completely. If they wanted to. In the council chamber, the delegates watched the video in silence. Some were terrified. Some were angry. All of them were shocked. "They have been holding back," someone whispered. "This whole time they were holding back." "Why?" another delegate asked. "Because they are not monsters," said a small alien from a species called the Pren. "They could have destroyed us, but they chose not to. They only want to be left alone." The debate went on for hours. Some delegates wanted to continue the war. Most wanted peace. In the end, peace won. The Council sent Ambassador Lee Taman a message. It was simple. "We surrender. What are your terms?" Lee Taman had waited 15 years to hear those words. 15 years of insults. 15 years of being ignored. Now they were begging him for terms. He sent back Earth's demands. 1. The Council will recognize Earth as an independent species. No probationary membership, no supervision, complete independence. 2. The economic blockade will end immediately. Any species that wants to trade with Earth can do so. 3. All Council ships will leave Earth's solar system and will not return without permission. 4. The Council will issue a formal apology for calling humans primitive, genetic refuse, and evolutionary mistakes. 5. High Arbiter Velnoth will be released unharmed as a show of good faith. The Council accepted every term. They had no choice. When High Arbiter Velnoth was released, he expected to be sent home immediately. Instead, Captain Hyundai brought him to an observation deck. "Look," Hyundai said, pointing at Earth. Velnoth looked. He saw a blue and green planet, clouds, oceans, lights from cities. "That is our home," Hyundai said. 7 billion people. We are loud, we are messy, we fight with each other all the time. We make mistakes. But we are not primitive. We are not refuse. We are human. And that means something. "What does it mean?" Velnoth asked. "It means we survive. No matter what. We adapt. We learn. We overcome. You called us weak because we stayed quiet. You did not understand that silence was a choice. We could have come out into the galaxy with weapons and threats. But we chose to wait. To watch. To learn. And now?" Velnoth asked. "Now we are done being quiet. But we are also done being insulted. Go back to your council. Tell them what you saw here. Tell them that humans are not their enemies. But we are also not their servants. We are equals. And if they cannot accept that, we will remind them again." Velnoth was sent home on a small ship. As he left the solar system, he looked back at Earth one last time. He felt something he had never felt before toward humans. Respect. On Earth, life slowly returned to normal. The military stayed on alert, but there were no more threats. The Council kept its distance. But something had changed. Species from all over the galaxy started sending messages to Earth. Small species, weak species, species that the Council ignored or controlled. They all said the same thing. "You stood up to them. You won. Can you help us, Doctor?" Yunhana read these messages with tears in her eyes. This was what she had wanted all along. Not isolation, not war, connection, understanding, cooperation. "We cannot help everyone," Premier Choi said when they discussed it. "We can try," Hana said. "We can share what we learned. We can teach them that being small does not mean being weak." Earth began sending teachers, scientists, engineers, not soldiers, not weapons, knowledge. 6 months after the war ended, a small convoy of ships arrived at Earth. They were from the Pren species, small aliens only a meter tall with big eyes and gentle voices. They brought gifts, art, music, food, and something more important, friendship. Captain Han Dae watched the Pren ships dock at Sentinel-7. Commander Kang Minho stood next to him. "Is this what peace looks like?" Minho asked. "I think so," Han Dae said. "Strange, isn't it? We prepared for war our whole lives. Now we have to learn how to have friends." "Will the Council try again?" Minho asked. "Maybe, probably, but not soon. They learned their lesson." "What lesson?" "That humans do not start fights," Han Dae said. "But we always finish them." Far below, on Earth, Kim Sarah was teaching a class of new pilots. The war had made her famous. But she did not feel like a hero. She felt like someone who did what was necessary. "Will there be another war?" one of the students asked. "I hope not," Sarah said. "But if there is, we will be ready. That is what we do. We prepare. We train. We never give up." In Seoul, Dr. Yoon Hana stood in her office looking at a picture of Earth from space. She had spent years wanting to connect with aliens. The war was not what she wanted. But the peace after was everything she dreamed of. Her computer pinged. A new message from an alien scientist. They wanted to collaborate on a research project. Hana smiled and opened the message. Dear Dr. Yoon, it began, we have read your paper on genetic diversity. We were wrong to dismiss it. We would be honored to learn from you. Hana started typing her response. The war was over. The insults had stopped. Now the real work could begin. Building bridges, sharing knowledge, creating something better. Earth had remained quiet for 15 years. Then the insults went too far. And humanity had shown the galaxy what they were capable of. But now came the hard part. Not fighting, not winning, but living in peace with a galaxy that finally understood what humanity really was. Not primitive, not weak, not broken. Just human, and that was enough.